Hello and welcome. Today, I'm very happy to say that I'm sitting down with Susan and Alistair Spence Clark from the accountancy firm Spence Clark and Co. Is that right?
Yeah.
Spence Clark, yeah.
Just Spence Clark these days.
They are a company that I've long admired and long worked with. And the good news is that they're going to be explaining about their business and they're going to inform us that they're gonna have their 40th anniversary.
Yeah,
Is
this
that
year.
right?
That's right.
Yep, 40 years.
40 years in Spain, how are we?
40 years in Spain.
Aren't we lucky? 40 years in
Where did
paradise.
that go?
40 years in paradise. I love it. So why don't we kick off? How did it all start? What happened?
We both come from a firm of chartered accountants in the UK, Clark Whitehall, they were called then when we left.
The
We
last,
went
the
through
last
a
name,
few
yeah.
iterations,
The last name
you
is
know.
Clark Whitehall, yeah.
And we actually met at the Money
The Money Show in 86.
Show in 86. Yeah, I was in marketing in London. Al was a partner in Sussex, and I was putting on marketing shows at the exhibition centre. We met because Al was one of the partners. We asked to make a presentation on the stand.
Yeah. Talk to people as they walk past, grab them.
Grab them. The firm had already opened an office in Marbella in 85. And to start with, it was going really well, wasn't
Yeah.
it? And then things went bad, sort of 86, 87.
Why is that?
Just the market was changing.
It wasn't very good.
I mean,
When it opened, all the other sort of major firms of accountants had their little Marbella satellite offices, either in Marbella or nearby Fuengirola. And it's when people like Michael Jackson used to come perform here at the Hotel Los Monteros. Used to be quite a big, they'd stay there
Yeah.
and they'd perform at the football stadium or whatever. So it's quite a buzzy time, and then the market just died really.
yeah, I mean, it sort of started dying we actually moved here permanently in 89 to take over the office.
Yeah.
And that's when the market, which was overheated, a bit like the 2010 crash.
Yeah.
It just started dying, and in those days it wasn't. It was a very frothy market.
Yeah, because in 1990,
lots of-
91 there was a UK recession, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
well, it was
Big,
massive.
no,
Yeah,
big, yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
But we had clients who were footballers who had problems with inland revenue.
That's right, there's quite a few footballers down here.
And so our job was to look after people who needed to get back to the UK, and they had
Yeah.
problems that needed to be negotiated and all that stuff. So we had a big office in London that managed that, and we were sort of satellite really to the London office. And we came out in late 89. Yeah.
They didn't want to close the office to begin with, but we were sort of hemorrhaging money, basically. We send out a
Yeah.
load of money every month to it. And they said, look, do you guys want to go? You've been talking about moving out of the UK. Do you want to go down and run it? And we sort of said yes.
Give it a try.
To begin with, I was selling accountancy software,
Yeah.
English accountancy software down in Gibraltar. That was fun. And then you sort of moved into the office to begin with, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then it was in 91, we decided to both just, because I'm the clerk, Al's the Spence, and we decided to join forces and take it over completely.
Yeah, so that's how it all started.
So-
And in around about 88, 89, we started generating clients in the more sort of like typical personal tax,
Yeah.
small businesses.
I've got quite a few from Jib, company,
Yeah, that's right.
secretarial clients, company manager, clients
From them, yeah.
from them that own property here. Because it's quite a crazy time then for them, wasn't it?
And the Spanish government did lots of wonderful things for us.
Did they?
Yeah, they
Yes, they kept changing the regulations. They introduced fiscal representation, which was if you were a foreigner with assets in Spain, you had to have a fiscal representative.
Right.
You had to have a NIF number, tax number.
And all the Spanish or Gibraltar companies, people had their properties in.
Yeah, I mean,
That was crazy.
it was the Wild West
Yeah.
around then. I mean, it was crazy. So, you had a block of apartments where every apartment was owned by an individual Gibraltar company
Yeah.
Wow, that's in Spain.
in Spain.
Yeah, in Spain. It was
And there were 30,000 Gibraltar companies owning property on the Costa del Sol.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was crazy. And the idea was, and it wasn't fraudulent, it was just very, very sharp. And they'd sell the company, not the apartment.
Yeah.
And because it was a foreign company, there was no taxation in Spain, theoretically. In fact, there was, but the Spanish tax office had no means of managing that.
To enforce that. I mean, from our perspective, you know, I came in 2004, and we don't see many Gibraltar companies owning assets.
It's all finished.
It's
We
pretty much-
liquidated hundreds of them.
Yeah, we did.
Absolutely hundreds. There's these cute little apartments, studios, one beds in a Gibraltar company costing a fortune in years
management,
run,
yeah.
in management fees. There's a real, quite a...
So that was our introduction to the Spanish system. It was the Wild West.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of very sharp practice. Also in the investment market, there was a lot of bad actors in the advisory market.
Yeah.
It's been tidied up a lot since, obviously. But, you know, bookkeeping standards, accountancy standards, all the stuff that a UK chartered accountant is proud to manage was a different set of rules there. Same bookkeeping, okay, different systems, but I mean, chaotic way of doing things.
A lot of it paper-based, I'd imagine.
It was all
totally
paper-based.
paper-based.
Yeah. It was, you know, real, you know, going back to,
Used to
for
carry
me,
tax returns to the tax
yeah,
office.
yeah. I used to have ledgers.
Is that why you're located where you are?
Yes.
Because of the
It was literally next door to us, yeah. Very handy.
So just to clarify, you're located in Marbella Centre.
Yeah, we're in central Marbella. Well, it's just like,
Just west of the Correos post office.
And it's Jacinto Benavente, if I'm not mistaken.
that's right.
Yeah, that's where the tax office used to be nearer to Old Town, didn't it?
Yeah, they
First
moved
day.
that in the early 2000s.
Time
Yeah.
ago, yeah.
So we're located 150 meters from the tax office, which used to be incredibly important because,
Yeah.
you know, we had a relationship with
It was
the
all paper, wasn't it?
with the officers
And
there.
banks too. We had to be near banks because
And
it was
notaries.
a daily bank run for our staff taking checks to the bank.
Do you remember checks?
We,
We still have a couple of clients that pay us checks.
I remember building society books. Do you remember that?
my
Yes,
God,
yeah, absolutely.
You can still get them in Spain, by the way.
Well, Unicaja, and it used to have these books, and you feed them into the computer, and it would.
Because they love getting a stamp.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah. So I want to get into the personal story a bit because obviously it's quite. It must be an interesting one. 40 years
Yeah.
in business, in the accountancy business in Spain.
Fascinating.
I'm sure you've got
Brilliant.
lots of it, lots of stories. You could probably name quite a few names, but I want to get into the idea. Obviously, a husband and wife
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
How did that work? You know, when did the name change? When did you change the name? When did the company become yours? And how?
91?
It was 91 we took it over. It was called originally Bastante Clark Whitehill, and as you're a Spanish speaker, you'll understand that bastante means enough. So we were called Enough of Clark Whitehill, and so in 1991 we sealed the deal and took it over. I retired as a partner of the UK firm, and as part of the deal we finished up with the office.
Yeah.
Which they thought was a really good deal for them, but it was actually a really good deal
Well,
for us.
they also thought because your mother was Italian,
Oh, yeah.
that Spanish is easy for you.
Yeah,
Italian,
it's the same
Spanish.
language, isn't it? It's foreign.
What's the difference?
Well, it's similar. It's too similar sometimes.
There is a
There's
similarity.
a similarity, but you just
Vocabulary
look
is
at the way
easier.
Spanish is written. It's completely different. Italian is completely different, isn't it?
I mean, it's like comparing
Spanish is quite
Portuguese and
phonetic.
Spanish.
Yeah.
There are the similarities,
Yeah,
but
there are huge
it-
differences.
you can't have a proper conversation with somebody.
I tried to learn Italian because before
I
I
like
go
Italian.
into the mortgage industry, I was actually in the fashion retail industry.
Oh, seriously?
And Armani died yesterday, didn't he? I worked there
Oh,
yesterday.
we were playing golf yesterday. I
worked
didn't see any news.
Ah, right. And I worked for it, and I wanted to get back into it. And I tried to study Italian, and my Italian teacher said, "You know, your Italian is absolutely rubbish, but your Spanish is fantastic. I'm going to stick to that." Yeah, okay, fair enough.
It's weird. I'm half Italian. I think like Italian was my first language, and I was living in London. My mother's Italian, and even today, even though I never speak Italian, after a few hours of talking or being in Italy or talking to somebody, I speak better Italian than Spanish.
Oh, it comes right
Which is
back,
amazing.
doesn't it?
I mean, it's the vocabulary is there; it just comes straight back. But I can't speak the two languages together.
Very difficult.
It's either one or the other. I can't speak both. It's kind of
So, what challenges did you face as running a business as a husband and wife? 'Cause most husbands and
in a
wives
way-
need to get away from each other.
Yeah, well, we're quite good friends. So we like skiing together, we golf together, we do a lot of stuff
Yeah,
together,
yeah.
love traveling together.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Same talk at home. No.
It was very intense, you know, particularly in the early '90s.
times,
You know,
wasn't
because it was clients went bust. We finished up with 50% of the clients after 6 months in 1990.
You got to have the
And
right
it was
state of
very stressful,
Yeah.
and you know, we had to let most of the staff go. So it
Oh
was
God, we got rid of that.
Sue, myself,
didn't we?
a tax inspector who became partner, and a secretary.
Yeah.
And that was it for a
Just
couple of
4 of us,
years.
yeah.
But because we had the tax inspector as a partner, we were given kind of a soft landing into Spain, because obviously we're technicians.
Yeah.
Of all, we're legal tax technicians. So having that tax inspector was brilliant, because we were effectively top at what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I was given a chance, a couple of years, to become a technician in Spain. And I actually became a Spanish auditor, and I am a Spanish auditor.
Right.
So I had to do all the exams and and everything to become a Spanish auditor. And to be an auditor, you have to
quite
study the
difficult,
entire
wasn't it?
law, basically. Social security or labor law,
You had to
tax law.
study really hard.
It wasn't fun at the age of 40.
It's not.
No. So I became an auditor in '96, and I was invited to join one of the Spanish audit institutes and some of the tax associations, which was great.
You were
You know,
one few or first foreigner, I think. To
no, there were quite a few.
Oh no, of course there were.
Spanish
Yeah,
phase.
yeah, there weren't
There's
that
quite a
many,
few
yeah.
people in PricewaterhouseCoopers,
five,
Ernst & Young.
yeah.
Yeah. So I was very fortunate, because we worked a lot with the Spanish professionals, who were very kind to us and enabled us effectively. You know, obviously we did what we could to reciprocate, but they enabled us to become Spanish professionals too. You know, they invited me to join the institutes, and they provided us with technical support when we needed it. So that was terrific. And then around about '96, the market started to grow again.
Right.
We moved offices. We started taking on staff, which is always great in Spain, as we all know. Spanish employment.
Got a lot better.
Yeah.
The staff, most of our staff now, they come to us fully bilingual.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it was very,
Very hard. Yeah.
And our client base is English speaking, whether they're Scandies, American, well, obviously Americans or whatever,
Yeah.
they will speak English. Yeah, that was quite tricky.
Your client base obviously is English speaking. So
Not all of them, but
predominantly.
95%.
The business has been built around that.
Yeah.
The type of business activity, is that generally property based? Has that always been the case, or is it?
Well, the Costa del Sol is a property economy.
Yes.
And tourism economy. So inevitably that's that. So we don't have an awful lot of, I don't know, widget manufacturers in Marbella. Unfortunately, because I love the variety of types of business.
Quite a variety in our
Yeah, we
commercial
yeah.
clients.
So we have the what you'd expect. We have hotels, we have bars, restaurants. You know,
Tires,
at a
car,
simple, you know, people dealing in cars, everything you'd expect
Quite a
to
lot
see.
of restaurants.
Yeah. But you know, we're chartered accountants, so basically, part of the training of being a chartered accountant is being very much a business consultant. That's what. If you like, that's a bit of a difference between the Spanish professions. We're much more
Consultancy.
Consultants-
More like
consultancy
you find in
oriented.
the UK.
less auditors, more consultants.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, everything's changed in the UK too, but that's where we come from.
But we've also got a huge portfolio of individual clients
Yeah.
as well, person.
Foreigners who
That's
have
like
an apartment
retirees.
or house,
Yeah.
property
Moved
developers,
over here.
people who live here. We have hundreds
Real estate
of
agents.
people living all over Spain now because of the internet, because
Yeah.
of, you know, Zoom type facilities.
Yeah,
we have
can
clients in
people throughout
Cantabria and Madrid,
Barcelona.
Extremadura, I mean, everywhere. So we're very international, and we have a lot of clients from places like Taiwan,
Right.
because people
Yeah.
from Taiwan who are doing business in Spain, they need somebody to help them employ people,
IBA
manage stuff.
stuff.
So we have clients all from all over the world.
Canada, we're getting quite a lot of Canadians.
A lot of
I
Canadian
you're seeing that
retirees
too.
for-
Lots of Canadians.
because they
So
like the idea.
just to explore that, so a Canadian retiree is looking to retire in Spain, and
Yeah.
they need someone to hold their hand to make sure that they
comply,
they comply, and it's a soft landing.
and they know they can plan arriving here, and they can, if you like, migrate from one system to another with very little pain.
So you guys have pretty much 40 years of helping English-speaking individuals and companies operate in Spain,
All live in Spain.
in a nutshell.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't
Our
matter.
mission statement is, make life as simple as possible
Exactly.
for our clients.
So if you're a business, you can help. If you're an individual coming to
yeah,
Utah, you
yeah,
can help. If you want to build a little holiday property portfolio, you can
Second
help.
home,
Or
whatever.
a small hotel, or whatever. We
I think we've got quite a few tourists.
I just had an inquiry from somebody who wants to set up a solar business, retail solar business.
Good place to do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been done before, let's face it. But I mean, it's, people who know what they're doing, this is a very fertile market. As, everybody should have solar panels on their roofs.
Yeah, it's a big thing here, isn't it?
So, it's a business from the UK who wants to, establish in Spain. So we help them establish.
So that's the business. You're here to help.
Yeah.
You've got a 40-year track record, which is pretty amazing. I hear there's a party going on. Am I invited? Or
Oh, two of you. I told you by email. You're both.
We're having our 40th on the
19th.
on the 19th of September, the Promenade in Marbella.
Right.
That's going to be great fun with all sorts of circus acts.
Got some lovely entertainment I've organised.
It's a bit of fun. It's something to mark, 40 years.
Perfect.
April 1985 was the date, so it's four years.
And it wasn't April, I think. Was
April,
when we
yeah.
actually came. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because we're going to complete 20 years next year.
Well, it's excellent.
So I'll be asking you for some tips on.
I've got a great party planner. She's really good.
Okay.
I mean, Swedish.
Yeah, you need somebody to help.
She's very good. Yeah, well, she's got all the contacts and all those entertainment and whatever.
Yeah.
Good woman.
So tell us a little about what you do outside of being accountants and helping people
Oh, we
with
love
this.
skiing. We spend quite a few weeks every year skiing. We've got a place in Val d'Isère. Although we've been doing a lot of skiing also in Italy
And
recently.
the Dolomites, they're beautiful.
Love it. So
And of course, Italian, I love it.
Yeah.
I have a lot of cousins in Milan.
As well.
All right.
So we pop in and see them,
Yeah,
say
we see
hi,
them. They're nice.
and off we go to the Dolomites.
We golf.
Where'd you golf?
We golf all around the place. We've got some very good friends who are involved with Los Naranjos, so we play there too. We're not members anywhere because
We don't play enough.
we don't really play enough, and also we like going to different places. So we go with as
Local societies.
association. Yeah, John
Are you a golfer?
fabulous.
Used to be.
Used to be. That's actually, that's very intelligent.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about stress.
When we talk about playing golf, we,
Don't I score brilliant.
I think we're called hackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's fun, and it's
Okay, yesterday.
and it's a nice
It was
walk.
quite good.
you
It's a
know.
lovely walk.
It's a great way of ruining a nice walk, who says. But no, it's and sociable, and we are retired. We're not meant to be working, and we don't work really with clients anymore.
We oversee how the business.
We look after the office, and
We're there for our fellow partners.
we advise them on stuff.
Support them.
So it's worth remembering. We are retired, but there are 35.
Well, let's
of us.
touch on that then. Let's talk about some of the individuals that
Yeah.
work for
Yeah.
Spence Clark.
We've got partners. Yeah.
Who are your main guys? I mean, I
Well,
know
Claudia is.
Claudia Vargas.
Claudia Vargas is one of our partners. She's been with us for some 25 years.
Yes, she has. Yeah, maybe.
Miguel Angel, he's our other partner. He's been with us 20 years.
Yeah.
The head of our admin department, Galina, they're both Spanish, although Claudia was
Claudia's
brought up
half
in Peru.
Peruvian.
Half Italian, isn't it?
Half Italian, half Spanish, brought up in
Born
Peru and UK.
The poodle's born in Peru. It's still a poodle. She's half Italian, half Spanish.
Yeah.
But brought up in Peru. Miguel's Spanish, and Gali, who has been with us 20 years also, runs our admin department. She's Bulgarian.
right.
And then we've got.
We have so we have two partners.
We've got some great stuff.
Everybody's bilingual in the office. Incredibly important for us. And then we have a group of managers, senior guys,
Yeah.
and then we have a bunch of people who are training.
Yeah.
But,
Yes,
I mean,
later arrivals.
I mean, we're very lucky. We have a fantastic team.
We really do.
It's not easy to establish that.
I know.
And prefer.
I think one of the managers, Elio, he's been with us 10 years. Harry's been with us 10.
Yeah.
We've been very lucky with them. Very lucky
So
indeed.
we have a great relationship with them. We try and make business fun
Yeah.
for for the guys we work with. We
But we also have a lovely summer party for them and Christmas party. Took a bunch of them out on a boat the other week, didn't we? That
just
collective calling.
so big sailing boat for
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours.
We used to take them out skiing every year, but after I think 4 or 5 broken bones and whatever, we gave that up.
Yeah,
After a few years, it's probably best to leave that, isn't it?
it was fun. It was great fun, but it was
yeah,
dangerous.
dangerous.
I wanted to get into. I mean, I know a lot of your guys, obviously, and
Yeah.
you know, we're part of the British Chamber of Commerce, aren't
absolutely.
we?
Very important, yeah.
We meet regularly there. But I think the first time I ever met you was at a golf event, but it was a charity event.
Oh, right.
of ours.
One of our first
One of your ones. That you do a lot with charities, don't you?
We do quite a bit, yeah. We used to. We were asked by a couple of our clients if we'd help them. This must be about 16 or so years ago, maybe more.
Yeah. Yes, it was, yeah.
To hold a golf day for the motor neuron disease charity. And we'd never done it. We didn't even play golf.
We didn't even
then.
play golf then.
Some might say.
So we had to learn to play golf for our own golf event.
Yeah. And they're great fun. They're good. But we
Sort
played
of.
some. I think we held about 13 or 14 of them, and then COVID came along and we had to stop. And we haven't done our own ones, although we do with Simon, actually, don't you?
What we do
Simon S.
is, instead of organising the whole thing, we co-host now.
Yeah.
So we let somebody else do all the professional golf organisation.
Oh, he's great.
And we sponsor
Yeah.
and help.
Right.
And we do it for a
guys-
different charity every year.
Yeah, you know, some of the
What
staff
charities have you held? Are these local
Collective
charities?
Calling,
Yes,
the
I know
local
them.
one.
just round the corner from here.
We support them as much as we can.
And we sponsor other events.
Yeah, other charities.
Upside Children.
We have supported the local Alzheimer's one, and that's really local in Marbella. It's like where you can take a relative who's suffering from Alzheimer's, like a daycare,
just support group.
just to give people a bit of a break, the carers.
We support animal charities.
Animal charities we support a lot.
You know, we have.
Do next year we're doing autism. Yes, we're supporting the local autism charity, and that's what we like doing. More local, the better.
And we love it. You know, we love getting the staff involved with.
Yeah, and the staff are great.
So
It's
they
support.
understand what, you know, it's not just about doing tax returns or stuff.
Give back.
Just, yeah, do something for the local.
Be involved in the local community is really important, and there's a lot of local stuff. Ourselves, Fluent Finance, we've been involved with Deborah, you know, the Five Children charity, and that's an interesting one. Maybe a video we could do with them, because that was started in Marbella.
Yes,
It actually started in Market. Yeah, we supported them at Aloha a few times. Their big golf days there. Yeah, they get great support.
We're going to Tanzania.
Oh yeah, we're going
Next
to
year,
Tanzania next year with
With collective calling. You know they have a Tanzanian sort of
Street
they look after street children.
rehome them,
So we're going to go and visit
educate them.
and meet some of the children we sponsor.
And Miguel, Claudia and Gally are coming with us, aren't they? 5 of us are going over.
Do the job properly.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Well,
just,
that's
you
the-
know,
it's
again,
decent
it's
work
about
for them.
getting the word out, supporting it in a very active fashion.
So that's good. Collective Calling are doing great work. I know.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul and Gemma, fantastic. They really are. I like them a lot.
So you went. Now you live in Spain.
Yep,
Spain is a very meat orientated country, would you say?
meat orientated.
Yeah. You've gone a plant-based
These
diet. So
areas too, yeah.
tell us a little bit about that. What
what?
is a
Plant-based
plant-based
diet.
diet?
Ah, we're
Tell us about it.
plant-based, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, we're both 100% plant-based vegans, have been for 10 years, a bit more, I think. Yeah, it's just something we met somebody who influenced us into it. Just, it sort of made us think, well, here we are, because they know what animal lovers and this, that and the other, and then paying for them to be killed and eat them didn't quite sit right when you really thought about it, or when I did. Yeah, so more or less overnight, I went vegan. Al was so happy about it, but that's probably one of our.
I think I came home that day, and I just been to Corte Inglés to buy barbecue steaks, a bunch of them,
Do that.
and yeah, you could have knocked me down with a feather.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
Obviously,
But,
Spain with chorizo, jamón.
Oh.
and everything.
oh, I mean, jamón serrano is one of the.
It used to be one of my favourite things, but it's amazing how quickly you can. What
it's a kind of realization.
Yes,
That's the best way I
that's
can
what
put
it
it.
was.
Most people have something in the back of their heads that says it doesn't quite make sense that we look after dogs and cats
Yeah.
and cherish them, and at the same time,
We're,
we don't like it when the Koreans eat them.
That's right. Yeah, no, it's-
yeah. Or
we-
French eat horses, you
Yeah.
think, oh my God, how can you?
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's where it
It's
sort of
from the heart.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
then
health benefits are great, but
I mean, I kind of obviously there was some pressure at home.
I think that was
But on one particular occasion, I was in Corte Inglés in Marbella, and for the foreign viewers, it's a great store, good quality store.
Yeah.
And it was just before Easter, I think it was or just after Easter, and in the meat section there was a baby lamb, a baby pig, and a baby rabbit, skinned, and I just suddenly it just clicked.
yeah.
we get it. We get it.
But everything went, we have no leather, no wool, nothing from, this is all plastic bottles or something, apples or whatever. Yeah, so it really was overnight. So
It's tough in Spain.
Oh, that's what I was trying to get at. It
It
must
is,
be
but
very difficult.
So
in
many
Spain.
restaurants now have options,
Right.
and there used to be a fantastic, completely raw. You did it raw, didn't you, Carlos? There would be
Yeah,
steak place
yeah, it was
opposite
great.
the Côte d'Iglets in Marbella.
Well, this is what I wanted to get to because we're doing a little feature. Where a restaurant recommendation.
Okay,
Where
okay.
would you go?
Oh, it's tough.
It is
It's
tough. Yeah, it's a goodie. The new owners of Garum are going to have a vegan menu.
Garen's been sold.
Yeah, Timo's left. He sold off.
About a month ago. Oh, he's lovely. We loved him. But the new owners are fantastic.
Right.
I had a meeting with Monica. Is a
So
family.
that's
of
where we're having the
Lithuanians.
party.
But they're going to have a vegetarian menu, gluten-free menu, and a vegan menu.
Yeah.
That's what Monica wants to model. And she's amazing. She's such a lovely lady. And that's going to be really good.
So hopefully they're really going to go for it.
I tell
Is it? Are they going to still call it Garum?
Yeah,
as far as I know, yeah.
I would have thought so. Yeah,
I would have thought,
the
because
same chef.
Timo was there
Or-
20 years, I think, so people know him really well, know the restaurant. It's a beautiful location. The Punta Romano, that has a vegan
Yeah.
menu too, and the food's so good there, in all the three restaurants.
Organic Marbella is quite good. Opposite,
Organic is good. Yeah, it's more sort of low-key.
Yeah, they have some good options.
Most restaurants will have something. What's Indian food?
Oh, La
You
Sala.
always find something.
La
Oh, La
Sala.
Sala is excellent.
They have a proper menu,
Yeah.
a proper vegan menu.
That is,
And Sue actually persuaded
we were having lunch.
Ian and
with
Fede of
Ian
La
and
Sala.
Fede.
All right.
Yeah, well, I think we had lunch with them, and
4 or 5 years ago.
yeah,
And they were just like, hang on, why, why exclude a market when it's so easy? The vegan
big-
dollars are
big
worth
menu.
money. So
and they
a
made some good
specific-
choices. I mean,
It's still
beyond
good.
beyond
Cut down a
meat
bit.
burgers, which are excellent. So they did it properly.
Yeah.
Good.
yeah, it's a great restaurant anyway. Love La Sala.
Well, fantastic. So we've done a bit of a plug there for a few local restaurants.
Absolutely.
Free suppers.
So hopefully that goes down well. I want to sort of bring it back a little bit to the business and where we're at the moment.
Yeah.
Business must be going well, right?
Yeah.
The market's
It is.
going good. So,
Yeah.
but how is it really from your perspective?
There's never any shortage of work,
No.
and the Spanish government keeps giving us presents
Yeah.
by making things as chaotic as possible.
Yeah.
The press is full of English press in particular, of horror stories about Spain
Yeah.
and about Spanish tax office, aggressive tax office, and the sort of the pretension is that in some manner the Spanish tax office has got it in for the foreigners, and certainly some of the law we have, some of the tax law we have, is deeply unfair to foreigners, and it's been challenged through the courts, and eventually it'll be rectified. We've had lots of examples already, and there's another one. The Supreme Court made a judgment just the other day, 28th of July, where they said that the Spanish tax system for foreigners owning property in Spain is illegal. It's going to go, sorry, not the Supreme Court, it's the court just below, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And that's really important because, Brits, Americans, Canadians, Chinese, Anyone who's non-EU has a really nasty tax system,
Yeah.
and they pay tax on their gross income, on their rental income, whereas the EU citizens are favoured because they can deduct community fees and mortgage interest and stuff. So that's gross, and everybody knows it's gross, and the tax office insists that it's fair. So we do have that kind of image, which is an unfortunate image, I would say. But what that does is it makes it more important for people to get proper advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with all due respect to foreigners of Spain, if you're going to go to live in a foreign country and you don't take proper advice, then if it goes wrong, then to some extent you've got to blame yourself. There are plenty of good advice in Spain, not just us. There are plenty of good advice, good lawyers, good tax accountants. And you just need to get proper advice.
Yeah.
Simple. And
the
you
tax office themselves now. Back in the day, yeah, people could get away with stuff. Very difficult now to get away with the games people used to like playing.
Yeah.
When you were talking about
and they're using AI now.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they've got a fantastic internet system. They're really hooked up for
But this,
country.
from what I see, is that part of the EU, countries like Germany or something that develop their own, they implement it across the EU. That if it works in Germany or France or wherever, then they start rolling it out, and so the systems are more sophisticated. From our perspective, from Fluent Finance Board, people call in and they request, inquire about borrowing money.
Yeah.
And we get into the long grass with them a lot, and we hear a lot of stories where it's quite obvious that they're not getting good advice. And obviously that affects us, because if a client wants to borrow money on a business venture or a property transaction, it has to make sense from a structural perspective and a tax perspective. If it doesn't make sense from any of those perspectives, then it's very difficult to convince a lender to lend you any money. Because lenders are pretty savvy people, and they know how it works. And if you're not set up in the correct way, they think, oh, this guy obviously doesn't know what, these people don't know what they're doing. So I tell you what, we'll pass on this opportunity to invest.
And they're right to.
Yeah.
And they're right. And so we get that a lot. And this is why I think this conversation is very important, because the message really should be, is really seek excellent advice if you are going to invest in Spain. Would you agree?
Oh, completely.
100%.
And we couldn't be more helpful to people we don't know. If you look at our website, there are hundreds of articles about doing business
So
in
many
Spain.
different topics.
Whether it's
We've
social
covered
security, whether it's buying a property,
Labour,
all
all
of that,
sorts.
labour. We actually have almost an employment manual on our
And that's a real biggie as well.
yeah. So
very dangerous.
employment law is particularly tricky in Spain. So we have that information, and we do our radio show and everything on Talk Radio, Talk Radio Europe. We do that every month, and we're very happy to put out free advice. It's not a problem for us. We love it.
But you love what you do,
Yeah.
and you've been successful. And
So we
40
put
years,
lots of free advice out there,
obviously, we're still here.
and we say to people, look, if you're not sure, if you want to just ask a question, just phone us.
Yep.
Send us an email. We'll send you a simple answer back, or phone you up and chat through the problem. And if it doesn't agree with what you've been told, then you know that there's an issue there.
Yeah.
Okay, and all right, go somewhere else, get the advice, go back to your existing advisor and challenge it. But don't just do stuff. You're a foreigner in a foreign country. You're not reading the Daily Mail, Money Mail, telling you what's going on every day. It's not there. That support is not there. So you need something to help you. So use the internet, research stuff, come to our website, phone people up.
Definitely, and I would definitely recommend that. It's definitely a case of buyer beware.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very much.
Consult as many advice. If it sounds too good to be true, it generally is. 2 + 2 does equal 4. If someone's telling you it equals 3.5,
No.
that's not right.
Just go.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And paying tax isn't a choice.
You
You
don't
work here, you pay tax.
exactly.
Come on.
You don't want to have a fight with Spanish tax
Oh, no.
authorities.
No,
You
that's not.
certainly do.
If you want, if you really want to lose some years of your life,
Yeah, and some money.
have an argument with the Spanish tax office. It's bad enough that you can't speak the language, a completely foreign system, and then you've got all the stories about how this tax office abuses people, etc.
It's a
Don't
bit
do
of a
it.
two-way street, that as well. People come here. I mean, I don't enjoy paying taxes.
No one does.
whatsoever. No one does. So let's pay what we should, but as little.
No
as we
more,
can.
no more than we should.
No more than we should.
No.
But
And let's make choices
yeah.
in the first place,
The correct ones.
which don't cause you problems later on.
And
So
if you
know,
want to take a risk or a flyer, at least understand what the consequences could be. I mean, we can't work for people like that, but everyone can do, make their own decisions about.
Yeah. Spain is a beautiful country. It's fantastic. It's we all love living here. I have a client who calls it, he doesn't, says, I hate paying tax, but he calls it the sunshine tax.
That's a nice way of putting it.
I think that's a very nice way.
Yeah.
and you have the
Invest
choice.
into the country, and that's what
Exactly.
taxation is. So,
You have the choice to pay tax to the government in the UK
yes.
or Spain.
Pays the rain tax.
I know what I'd choose.
That's what I've chosen. Well, listen, guys, I'm at the end of where I wanted to be. Have I missed anything? Do you want to mention anything?
No, I don't think
that's
so. I
been
think
great,
we
Mark.
covered the
We
personal
really enjoyed
side
this.
of things
It's
as
nice
well.
to talk about stuff.
Yeah. I would say working together, I think it actually works possibly better because we both have the same objective and we understand why we are both get stressed out. Because we know what happens in the office. Instead of having to come home and say, "Oh, you
You've had a nice day, dear.
Yeah, nice day. Yeah. How's I?
Well, working together has worked for us.
Yeah, it's worked
I know
for
it doesn't
us.
work for
Doesn't
everyone,
work
but
for everyone.
we've been very close, and we've been able to support each other when things are tricky. When things go wrong, there's two of us.
Exactly.
And that
Yeah.
helps.
And we both came over
That
here
helps a lot.
together to a foreign country to do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that probably.
Yeah, I'd encourage
helps
other people
too.
to do it.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable story. As you say, it's quite unique. There aren't
Yeah.
many
It is.
husband and wife couples that
If
that stay together
clients
even
were,
that
though,
long.
actually,
Never mind
back
the
in the
business.
day.
We have oddly, we do have quite a lot of husband and wife clients
Yeah, and they became
with a
good
business in the
friends
UK
too.
who've come here to semi-retire or to partially retire and go backwards and forwards. There are quite a few actually.
Yeah, but think of Tim and Nicole and Carolyn and Nick.
Yeah.
All in business
Yeah,
back in
quite a few of our
the
friends.
early 90s, mid 90s.
Good stuff. Well, look,
Anyway,
thank you so
Great,
much.
thank you.
That's
I
been a pleasure.
really found it fascinating, and I'm sure our audience will. The only thing I say is talk to Spence Clark. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 40 years. Don't make any silly mistakes. And there you are. The details of how to find Spence Clark will be at the bottom of this video. Thank you very much. See you
Like
again
and
soon.
subscribe.
Super. Yes,
Like and subscribe.
exactly.